In Pit Lane is brought to you by Nick Star Racing. Support Nick Shembry in his campaign to the 2019 British Supercar Grand Prix. Be a part of the future. And with thanks to the following show supporters.
Hello and welcome into In Pit Lane. My name's Peter Johnston and I'm your host for this week. Brett's on a well-earned break. Don't worry, that doesn't translate to special projects. He will be back next week. On the show tonight, we will have music our special guest is Frank Marchese to talk about the upcoming King of the Hill drag race. And welcome to our Equal Opportunity set. So now let's check out what's happened this week in the world of motorsport news.
Stop, calm down, there's no need to panic. AAA are on the winners list again. Roland's in his heaven and all's well with the world. Yes, after a few tweaks to the centre of gravity, the power of prayer, and the driving talents of Shane van Gisbergen, the Mustang domination of this year's Who Gives Us Stuff Who Sponsors It Supercar Series has ended. The Kiwi ended the Mustangs' unbeaten streak to give Holden their first win of 2019, after earlier also claiming their first pole of the season. But it was still the DJR Team Penske Mustangs that left the Apple Isle with the points lead as the teams head back to the mainland before a rumoured appearance somewhere near Wonthaggi this weekend. Also overseas, Indy 500 winner Takuma Sato has returned to the winner's circle after a weekend of total domination at Barber Motorsport Park. Starting from pole, Sato led all the way to lead home Scott Dixon and Sebastian Bourdais to earn himself the winner's check and a big hug from Santa Claus, who was holidaying in the area for the northern summer.
This is because of the team. Really, they made a fantastic effort. The car was superb, you know? I mean, red tyre, black tyre, I didn't have to worry about it. And, it's just a full credit to the team. Really, really great.
NASCAR, yes, NASCAR. There was another NASCAR race. It was won by Busch, Kyle Busch. Kurt Busch was second. Joey Logano, whose name is not Busch, finished third. Busch, Kyle that is, overcame early race contact on lap 3 when William Byron made contact with Eric Almirola, forcing the number 10 Stuart Haas Mustang-type car into the wall. Ricky Stenhouse then slammed into the rear end of Busch's Toyota. Ross Chastain tapped Daniel Heinrich, sending the number 8 Chevy into a spin. Ty Dillon won the first stage. Joey Logano won stage 2, his third segment win of the season. Kyle Larson then bumped the Chevrolet of Bailey Curry on turn 2 and hit the wall in front of Will Byron to bring out yet another caution. But up front, it was the battle of the Busch brothers, with Kyle taking his 54th NASCAR win, leading home brother Kurt and Logano. Busch, Kyle that is, leads the series ahead of Denny Hamlin and Logano, with only 165 rounds still remaining. Meanwhile, in the NHRA, Mike Salinas picked up his first career victory last Sunday at the NHRA 4-Wide Nationals at the Strip at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. He powered his way to a 3.801 second pass at 531.7 kilometres per hour to beat Brittany Force, Clay Millican and Doug Coletta. Reigning world champion J.R. Todd won the funny car title on Sunday to beat Tommy Johnson Jr., Jack Beckman and number 1 qualifier Tim Wilkerson. In Pro Stock, Bo Butler picked up his third win of the season with a whole-shot victory over Matt Hartford, Jason Lyon and Greg Anderson. And Hector Arana Jr. picked up the win in an all-star Pro Stock bike final over reigning champ Matt Smith, 5-time champion Andrew Hines and 4-time champ Eddie Krawick.
And in further news, Sydney-based Toyota 86 Racing Series regular Emily Duggan has been awarded a scholarship to the Paul Morris Racing Academy ahead of this weekend's opening round of the series at Phillip Island. After recently completing a course at the Normal Motorsplex Academy, Morris, a Bathurst Triple Crown winner, was suitably impressed by Emily and is aiming to assist her progression this year. Emily will receive her race coaching at the Normal Motorplex free of charge and will benefit from being part of the Paul Morris Motorsport operation at the track, comparing data with current Toyota's 86 front runners Declan Fraser and Luke Vanner. International GT racer David Russell will team up with his father Jeff at this year's Bathurst 6-hour production car race to be held at Mount Panorama on April the 21st. The premier Australian production car enduro race will mark the second time that the father and son combination will compete together, the last time being at the 2003 Bathurst 2-hour production car showdown. The Russells will compete in the 2019 event, racing a BMW 135i, prepared by category runners Sharon Racing. Jeff Russell's links to Mount Panorama include a total of 10 Bathurst 1000s, highlighted by a top 6 finish co-driving with Rusty French in the 1984 Bathurst 1000. David Russell has just returned from making a podium debut in the Blancpain World Challenge GT Asia Series held at Sepang International Raceway last weekend. And the growth of TCR continues with the news that New Zealander Chris Pither will drive a Renault Megane RS TCR for Gary Rogers Motorsport in the 2019 TCR Australia Series. Pither, who won last year's Supercars Super 2 Series, will switch to the new emerging under 2-litre international touring car class. GRM will field 4 TCR cars in the series, having secured 2 Renaults and 2 Alfa Romeos. The Renaults and the Alfas are both expected to arrive in Australia in the coming weeks, ahead of a pre-season test and the opening round of the series in Sydney Motorsport Park on May 17th to the 19th. As well, Kelly Racing will field 4 cars across 2 car manufacturers in the inaugural TCR Australia Series. The team will enter a pair of Subaru WRX STIs alongside 2 Opel Astras. The addition of the Subarus and the Opels takes the total manufacturer count up to 8, with the Opels and the Subarus joining Audi, Volkswagen, Honda, Hyundai, Alfa Romeo and Renault. And now we'll come back, we'll go to a break, and after this break we'll be joined by our guest Frank Marchese. And
okay, can we get Frank in, please?
And
yeah, Frank's coming in.
Yep, we're not doing the we're not saying nice things about and I'd like to just mention our sponsors, because as we all know, motorsports is an expensive business. Even as a fan, with all of you with your person caves, you know bringing back the merchandise is expensive. So our sponsor Nick Shembry, segment two, the band comes in. Sponsorship package is still available for Nick Shembry with Nick Star Racing, to support him as he's supporting us, because it's expensive business putting this show together. And so sponsorship packages are still available for you to join with him, and also while also helping us as well. So it's a good thing to do. And Nick's just coming in now, and I think we're ready to
just need a sound check from Frank.
1, 2.
Keep counting until they
1, 2, 1, 2.
Okay, you got sound from there.
And so we're just getting a sound check from Frank.
And whenever you're ready, how long have we got for the second segment? 7 minutes, that's the entire segment. Yeah, don't.
Sorry,
don't
we're just
the band
we're just working out things
yeah,
here.
So it's just 7 minutes for the 7 minutes.
Yeah, if you would like to sponsor In Pit Lane too, that'll be a good thing too, because as I said, motorsport is expensive. And if you go to advertise at inpitlane.com, there you'll find some details.
No worries, Sean.
And are we ready to come back?
Okay, we're ready to come back. Give us a counting, guys. 30 seconds. 15.
So I've got 7 minutes
7
for the chat. Yep.
for everything, the whole segments.
All right, okay.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
And it's welcome to Frank Marchese, who's a drag racer.
Thanks, Peter.
Yep, no worries. And you're here primarily because coming up this weekend is an event called King of the Hill, which
Correct.
we'll talk about a bit more later. But yeah, can you tell us about?
Well, the King of the Hill is obviously based off a race that was based off who had the fastest car, and from that, a lot of guys entered and wanted to show who had the fastest car, and
Okay.
and we fought. Then now money's come involved, so we're up for the 5K win, and everyone wants to turn their cars up and go as fast as they can to win 5K.
Okay. And speaking of cars, what car do you drive? And
Okay, well, I drive the Dandy Engines XW Falcon, and it's a 1969 four-door Falcon. It was probably once someone's family car, and now it's like we're one number away from running a 6-second pass.
Wow. And so some of the specifications on it?
It's a twin turbo small block Ford. It's an automatic, 9-inch. It's a small tyre car, leaf spring.
Yep.
It's not supposed to do what it does, but yeah.
Now I have to say I love motorsport, but I'm probably not as au fait with drag racing as I should be. So tell me about it. Tell me why I should be into it.
Oh, well, it's exciting. You know, I've done both circuit car racing and drag racing, and look, the thrill of the big horsepower, even though it's in a short burst, it seems a long time when you're in the car, you know, and we've got 2,000 plus horsepower, and we're trying to get it down on a tyre that's no bigger than, say, 275 millimetres.
And you've had you've been in other events with the car. Last year you were in the 2018 Drag Challenge.
Drag Challenge, yeah. That was.
Tell us about that event. And
It's a 5-day torture test for someone that wants to drive his car around Australia, and we went to 5 different tracks, and you got to race your car basically between a window of from I think it's like 10 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon. Run your fastest time, hand in your fastest time slip for the day, pack your car and your trailer up, and head 450 k's to the next track.
so when you're racing at that 10 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon, I think you said.
Yep.
Are you racing at the track or are you racing to the track?
No, we're racing at the track.
Okay.
There was 5 specified tracks: Calder Park,
Yep.
Swan Hill, Mildura, back to Swan Hill,
Yep.
back to Calder Park, and that was the final. Yeah.
Yep. And you had a bit of controversy with your car because there was some contention about whether it was eligible for the street machine category. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Yep.
Look,
So can you explain that a little bit?
I think it was like 4 weeks or 5 weeks before the event. We ran a 7000 at 204 miles an hour, and the internet went crazy because it was stated one of Australia's fastest street cars, and a lot of people said it couldn't have been done for us to drive 2,000 kilometres and run through the actual event and make it to the end. But we did.
So can you explain the definition of a street machine?
The definition, it's basically a car that was once a production car.
Sorry. Yep.
Yeah, once a production car, and it's been made to go as fast as it can.
Okay. Yep. And so, what's your favourite track. So you've raced at a number of those tracks. You just went to, what's your favourite track?
Look, our home track's Calder Park. You know,
Okay.
that's our Melbourne-based track. But we travel all over Sydney, next door to Eastern Creek, Willowbank, and yeah, Heathcote. So yeah, we covered most of them.
So because I read where you were at Mildura, at the Mildura track, and you did worse than you thought you would. So I expected you to say that Mildura was your.
Oh, look, Mildura, it was an exciting track. I mean, when we raced there, it was very hot and like it wasn't as sticky. The track wasn't as great as like we wanted it to be because it was just too late in the day when we got to that point, and we struggled a bit.
Okay.
But
so the less sticky a track is, the better. Yeah.
No, the less stickier it is, the worse it is, especially with a high-powered car like mine.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
So let's talk a little bit more about the King of the Hill. People can go along.
Anyone can go along. It's a great family event. Take the kids. You can go through the pits. It's for free to go through the pits. Yeah, you get to get up close and personal with the races. It's exciting. A lot of people are going to turn their stuff up to try and win 5K. You know, so motors are going to blow up and.
What was the slogan? Bring.
Oh yeah, I'm the worst for that. So
anyway, so does that mean that people, the public, can compete or not?
I mean, anyone can enter, providing your car can fit the rules and you've got your license for the day and so on.
Yep. And so it runs across the whole weekend?
Just a Saturday from 3 o'clock testing and elimination starts at 5 o'clock.
Yep. And so tell us some of the trends in drag racing in terms of engines and things.
Well, look, at the moment, the biggest thing in drag racing is everyone wants to go for like the big horsepower engines, and it's primarily turbocharging these days. If it's a 6-cylinder or a V8, and they want to push for it.
Yep. So once again, if we getting along to the King of the Hill, can just another plug for it? Yeah,
I mean, look, King of the Hill right now is probably one of the best races you can go to in Melbourne, being a 5,000K win. There's nothing more than any racer wants to take home money, not a trophy. So it should be exciting.
For now, Frank Marchese, thank you very much. We'll be back right after this break. Okay, we'll bring our musicians in.
How do we do? Sorry if there's too many. I didn't realise how many cameras were in here. I didn't know where to look.
Sorry, I should have warned you.
Frank, if you could just stay there for the band, what we might come back, because I don't know, it depends on how long we've got to fill for the third segment, because I'm not sure what happened again with the timing. So,
am I doing all right, like looking where I'm looking? I'm looking at Pete.
Look at Pete. If you want to make a point to the people at home, your camera is camera 1.
That's right.
You're doing fine. Yeah, you're doing fine.
I've run out of questions.
No, it's okay. I mean, look, it's.
I mean, like for the third segment. Yep, band on stage, please.
Hello. So we're just getting the band on. This is live television.
Okay, I'm going to move in between cameras 2 and 3.
Yep, I can see you, Brett.
You can still hear me?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
So Brett's actually here in the studio, so he will be back here next week, I promise.
Okay, do you want to the band ready to go?
So,
okay, Brett, we want to introduce the band.
So, with us, our band this week is the Bay Street Preachers, and they're going to perform for us right now, and their song is Orangeman's Day.
If I were sincere and a man of my my word, and you could believe all the things that you've heard. But I am a shyster and schemer to boot, and all of my plans never bear any fruit. So take my hand and I'll lead you back home. The days they have changed from the ones you have known. And I will curse the day you went away, 'cause you gave me life on Orange Day. Oh, sing me a song one more time if you could, and tell me just once that you think that I'm good. And I let you down, and I caused you so much pain, but I'll make it right when I see you again. And tell that screaming banshee his power has all gone, for you are safe in heaven with God upon his throne. And I will curse the day you went away, 'cause you gave me life on Orange Day. Well, now the borough is lost and all the gentry have moved in. It's not the same Port Melbourne that you dance and frolicked in, but I'll catch the 109 and I'll meet you at the pier. And as you rise into the clouds, I'll tilt my hat and peer. I see a girl in sepia, a bridesmaid to a friend. I know the love I have for you will never ever end. And I will curse the day you went away, 'cause you gave me life on Orange Day. Orangeman's Day! I miss you, and I hope you're still my friend, and I hope you won't remember when I sent you round a bend. Now go and rest in peace, and I'll be on my way, and the next time that I'll see you be the call of Judgment Day, and I'll say a novena for 9 days in a row, a decade of the rosary whenever I am home. And I will curse the day you went away, 'cause you gave me life on Orange Day. 'Cause you gave me life on Orange Day. 'Cause you gave me life on Orange Day.
Thank you, and we'll hear another song from you later. And you've got a gig coming up in May, yeah, is that correct?
We have a gig coming up at the Woodlands Hotel on the 5th of May at
No
6
worries,
o'clock.
yep. And I think we're ready to come back.
Okay, guys, how long have we got for this third segment? If the band could stay in position, please.
Yep, we're just working out some things for the next segment when we come back to Channel 31.
Okay, guys.
Am I chatting?
Do we have a running time for the third segment? About 7 minutes, and that includes the song. What's the? Okay, you guys have about 2 minutes to film, so just
Okay.
chat about
Okay,
whatever.
so I'll talk
and-
about.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, so when you get the, what's, yep.
I'm just waiting for the
30 seconds.
30 seconds. I don't know why I repeated that back.
We're going into the what's on first,
Okay.
and then we'll come up. 15 seconds to take. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. What's on in motorsport, brought to you by the Motoring Diary, your must-have guide for all motoring enthusiasts. This weekend in Melbourne, drag racing returns to Calder Park this Saturday night with the King of the Hill. This is USA-style Saturday night grudge racing with run what you brung, call-outs and take run priority. Competitors are matched by drawing a number out of the hat and it's winner takes all. Testing starts at 3, racing starts at 5:30 and as they say in the classics, be there! Sunday, and it's the Victorian Motorcar Championships in South Australia. Yes, the Victorian Motorcar Championships are heading across the border, so you can too. It's in Mount Gambier, which is across the border. Warning, warning, warning. The following announcement may be in breach of the Commonwealth Official Secrets Act. I think we've broken the code and discovered that, yes indeed, there will be a supercar round this weekend at Phillip Island. There's also the Touring Car Masters, Toyota 86s, Carrera Cup and Super 3, so actually, not a bad card. So if you got tax cuts this week, why not spend them down at Phillip Island? You'll need every cent of it, and that's just to buy a beer.
And welcome back. I'm with Frank Marchese here, and we're just going to have a little bit more of a chat. You actually saw Frank's car on the opener there. So tell us about that shot, Frank.
Oh, the wheel stand. That was probably one of the tamer ones. One of the good things about trying to get one of these big powered cars down is we got to try and get bite from the tyre, and sometimes you shoot the amount of weight we've got, and we do a big wheel stand, and not really friendly on the car, but it happens from time to time. Not what we want.
Okay, and you were telling me in the break that you had a throttle stick once.
Yeah, I've had a throttle stick at the end of the track. When we usually pull the parachute, we pull under full acceleration. Wait until we fill the blossom of the parachute, and I usually lift off the accelerator. Now I have it this occasional time, and the throttle got stuck, and there's only a short time before you hit that net, and yeah, that wasn't a cool feeling.
Okay, so perhaps if you tell us a little bit how you made the transition from circuit racing to drag racing, how that came about.
Circuit racing was great. I was enjoying myself a lot, but the scene was bigger at the drags, and guys were pushing for more and more power, and that's what we liked. We enjoyed making power, and that's where we pushed, and that's the area we followed.
Yep. So once again, if we just wrap up with the King of the Hill.
Yep. Look, come down to King of the Hill and watch everyone come and try and destroy their motors to win the big money, the prize money. And
people can come and look at the car.
They can come close, and like we like to let people, like the kids, come and sit in the car and see what it feels like.
Yep. And now, thanks very much, Frank. And we'll go to the Bay Street Preachers, and they're going to perform. They're going to take us out tonight with their song "Got to Let You Know."
Since you went away, all my skies are gray, all just cloudy days. I've got to let you know, I've got to let you know. Wasn't on an early plane, wasn't on a midnight train. When the world was sleeping, where were you? We spoke about it times before, the subject had become a bore. When the world was sleeping, no one knew. Round and round we go, while we do not know. The feeling was so low, now I've got to let you know. Since you went away, all my skies are gray, all just cloudy days. I've got to let you know, I've got to let you know. Since you went away, all my skies are gray, all just cloudy days. As if you didn't know, as if you didn't know. There's nothing on your Facebook page, we're both from a different age. Put it in the note you didn't leave. We spoke about it times before, the subject had become a bore. I've got one more trick left up my sleeve.
Round and round we go. Why we do not know. The feeling was so low. Now I've got to let you know. Since you went away, all my skies are gray, all just cloudy days. I've got to let you know. I've got to let you know. Since you went away, all my skies are gray, all just cloudy days. As if you didn't know. As if you didn't know. Right now. Woo. Round and round we go. Why we do not know. The feeling was so low. Now I've got to let you know. Since you went away, all my skies are gray, all just cloudy days. I've got to let you know. I got to let you know. Since you went away, all my skies are gray, all just cloudy days. As if you didn't know. As if you didn't know. I've got to let you know. I've got to let you know.